Hello folks, and welcome back to the second part of the commentary of GT Online for the sixth series, I suppose you could say. And so this time I believe I'll be focusing on, I think it's Junkyard Wasteland. And so it is. Well, might as well delve right into it. So, Junkyard Wasteland. How could I describe this match? Well, it's a little bit unusual, and obviously this is one of those big kind of death matches. I mean, I'm trying to think, was it the full 1630? I'm not 100% sure, and I think it is, but yeah, I do remember just how kind of diverse and that was, like having the big building in the middle and having all the various junkyard props and that in between. It's just man, fucking epic is what it was. Man, seriously, you'd be surprised just how much you can get into the atmosphere of all these things. It's really is something else in that. Oh man. But wow. Yeah, with Junkyard Wasteland, I think it's I'm trying to mind how far back is when I first created it, because I don't even know, I think I did create it for the PS3, but obviously it was far more limited, and couldn't reach quite its full potential and that back then, but with the whole PS4 thing allowing you up to 30 people, that's when I really took advantage of it. And I'm kind of glad I did. Oh, jeez, the voice is breaking up. But yeah, I think that's the thing, and it's with the PS4, obviously, there's so many things you can do with it, and obviously being able to record footage and that, it's just alright, to go a bit off topic here, and you'd be surprised in that how much footage and that I've been building up on my YouTube channel, because I remember before, up until I think July of last year. No, not July. Actually, no, was it? No, I'll say August. Since August of last year, and it was I was never able to really record footage, but since well, no, actually, I tell a lie. See, I was actually planning to eventually upload the footage I'd gotten from the Los 65 and that, but the problem was I wasn't sure how you could actually upload it, but there was eventually a way I could kind of copy a duplicate of it, almost as long as I cut a second of it off, and that's say at the beginning or the end, and I can essentially duplicate on the channel that I actually was working with, so it wasn't that bad actually. And I thought it would have been way harder, but no, I was actually able to work out, and so no problemo there. Oh man. Also, notice something very unusual. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck I left the traffic on, and I thought I had that shit turned off. Although in saying that, I don't think the traffic really affected anything, because a good amount of my outdoor maps are either partially on roads or entirely on roads, so having traffic there would fuck everything up, but this is one of the few that had no traffic that can go there whatsoever, so I don't think that really would have affected anything. And oh man. Yeah, you'd be quite surprised just again, it's the whole thing with the atmosphere and that. I do word my jobs carefully. I like to try and make them have a sense of atmosphere and that. I'm not this is the problem, right? And I actually do believe this when it comes to alright, the art of storytelling, right? You're generally going to likely want to read a story that's good, right? Well, the problem is nowadays, most of the general demographic would rather, they would rather read a story that has, you know, I guess how can you say it? Not so much sex, so much as sexy characters. You know, like cheapening them that way. You know, because I've heard a few people saying sex is what sells good stories, and you know, rather than them actually being good. And unfortunately, that's kind of true. And that, but I suppose the same is true with here. It's what catches people's attention. Even if what catches their attention isn't really all that much. And you know, which is unfortunate. Like, I'll make an example here of GTA Online, right? You know how, for example, with Deathmatches, right? You know, this is an obvious one to those who've been playing a lot. And but it's like, for example, you know, you get my kind of matches where they're actually putting a serious effort in. And it's like, go out your way to try and make it as reasonably, how do you say it? Yeah, as reasonably balanced as possible, and yet it's like what seems to catch most people's attention isn't even like, it's not even the, how do you describe? Like, you know how you get a lot of people bitch about how like you get all these scam death matches and you know, and that's an obvious one. And but oh man, what annoys me more actually is the fact that it's, I'm losing my word at track saying that, but yeah, it's the fact that it comes down to just like these catchy words, and like say, you know, like 50k, 500k, kind of like winning now, all these like, you know, actually it's the same. I've just realised it's the same kind of nature of YouTube and that, where it's like, you know, like such and such video, golden sex show, or you know, like rage queries, dumb shit, and things that I probably wouldn't have minded too much, or maybe even liked when I was younger, which I will attest to that, because I remember watching shit like, you know, the angry video game that I'd be really into it because of the anger kind of thing. But nowadays it's like, nah, I'm wanting actual constructive critique, and I try to base my content around that, you know, but it's like, for fuck's sake, you know, most of the demographic just, nah, they just disappoint me. They really do. Oh man. But I suppose it can't be helped in that, you know. But yeah, anyway, about the match, yeah, I would say that, yeah, it's one of the best. I was not the best, because I still say, like, I mean, there's still a couple really good ones coming up, and that, you know, like, for anyone who's played, like, a bunch of jobs, and that, you'll know, like, the best is yet to come, and that. And I've been doing that intentionally because I really want, like, I've got about, well, not including the 3 that I'm going to be submitting, and that for Destiny Newcomb and the other ones after that, like, I've only got 7 videos left from those 65. After those 7 are done up, that's it. That's it. All gone. And the funny thing, I only have 7 left. And but you know what seems strange, right? It's the fact that I don't even have all this, like, I only have this on my YouTube channel, like, and I was went and just thinking to myself, if I were to lose, like, say, there's a whole thing of, like, you know, losing, like, your channel and all that shit, and this is something that a lot of people who are, like, have bigger channels have to worry about, and I can see why, and but with me it's more like, it's not so much for money reasons, it's more like just for nostalgia reasons, because if I lose, like, all of, like, my work and that, like, that's all gone, and all of it gone, you know, and it's like, nah. Man. Yeah, you only live once, as they say, but I digress. I'm not, you know, I think it's just the whole thing, and like, let's just come to a close on that. I mean, after this and the next one, there'll only be, I think, 4 videos next, and actually I think I could probably do both of them in just the one series, so, you know, yeah, that'll be just the last 4 videos and that, you know, it's, man, that'll be a damn shame once we reach the end, but, you know, such is the way of life, as they say, you know. Oh well. So, in conclusion to this map and that, yeah, it's decent. Not my like personal favourite. In fact, it's not even one of my top. I wouldn't even say it's one of the top 10, but it's. Well, I guess you could say it's got some variance to it, and you know, it's not. I would say maybe it's a bit unbalanced, but it's not the worst. And that there's way worse out there. Believe me, I actually know that with one of my interior maps, you know. But oh man. So yep, there's that Junkyard Wasteland. And you know, I'm just realising what I'm doing right now kind of renders that pointless. Like, because what I've said is that I'm going to record all the old footage, but as for the new one, I'm like, don't really care. So yeah, there's that. Suppose we'll be done with that. And yeah, we'll be covering one more. Well, actually, one more in this one, but that's going to be 3 in total. So, oh man. Let's see. So I've just picked one right in mind, and this was actually one that I really want to cover, and yeah, inside job. So, inside job. How to describe it? Well, this actually, truth be told, wasn't created by Los Santos or Destiny Newcomb. Yeah, that's right, this was actually created by, well, not this particular one. Now this was one where I managed to get 2 more people in, which was pretty damn good. But yeah, this actually I would classify as an interior. And you know, like it's not a true interior because it's not got the whole enclosed space, but it almost feels like an interior, so it might as well be classified as one because there's no real way of escaping. I mean, most you can do is get out to some of the empty platforms outside, but you're still going to fall to your death, and if you try to escape from an actual building, so it's like, yeah, we may be able to see like the real fancy shit for the second one. I just think this is ultimately the better version, and you know, there's just no arguing that, you know, and this I would actually say is pretty damn good, and you know, it's got all the advanced weapons and that, and it's like honestly, like the amount of cover you get is like real cool, and just being able to like utilise the environment and all the different props. And I know I say that for a few others, but here it's especially true, and like, you know, this is what I like to think where it's like with competitive teams, like. You get like all your advanced weapons, like the AP pistols, the SMGs, the auto shotgun, the advanced rifles, the heavy sniper, sticky bombs, and I think there's a grenade launcher. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I skipped out on the heavy weapons and that, but yeah, it was like really like cool just to find all this shit and that, you know. Like, holy shit. You know, okay, just to quickly talk about this, right? And this is going to come to a surprise with a lot of people, right? But yeah, another big change that I want to talk about, and this is something that I was talking about, you know, earlier, and that. But alright, before, because also I realised that this isn't quite the map yet, so I'm going to keep it going for a bit longer, but I suppose I might so indulge in some of these spoilers and that. But yeah, alright, whilst I was discovering the whole platform thing, I was realising this is a huge thing I could applaud them for. And it almost makes up for them blocking interiors. Yeah, they actually unlocked just about every single weapon. Like, there's only 2 weapons I think that they didn't release. That was the Tommy gun and the Independence, the musket and that. You know? Like, those are the only two that I think didn't make it and that. But other than that, nah, every single weapon. Oh no, there's a third one, and the fucking, what you call it, that PS3 bonus weapon, the railgun, which is fucking epic, by the way. That is, I wish that, honestly, I didn't really give a shit about the Tommy gun, and the musket, it's unique, but it's not like really cool. But damn, I wish they had the railgun. Seriously, that would have been perfect, and like for like the top tier fucking advanced weapon. Like, could you imagine that? You know, the railgun, in case you're wondering, you have no idea what it is, it's essentially, it's just as powerful as an RPG, except it is instantaneous. Like, all you do is charge up it and boom! Immediate explosion. And that. Like, you can actually take out helicopters with relative ease, as long as it's not too far away. And I mean, it's, obviously if it's a jet, you'll still stop it anyway. But it's surprisingly deadly. And that, you know, just as powerful as an RPG, anywhere you hit, bam! Instantaneous. It's like really fucking deadly. If you're skilled with a railgun, holy shit, you'll devastate people. And it actually annoys me they didn't release some sort of like end-game kind of like weapon. Like, I would have loved that if it was a rank 150 and say it costs like, I can't remember how much the minigun costs, but let's just say at least double that, so say 250k and make the ammo really expensive. You know? Yeah, sure, people might bitch about how it's like too overpowered, but that's the point. The point is to have like a really powerful weapon that's expensive as fuck to use, but it makes you feel like a god and that, you know? At least on the offensive side. Defensive, it's like it's not like there's any power armor yet, so don't have to worry about that, but if it makes you feel strong as a god, it's like, oh my god. That, I wish they'd done that, but no. Yeah, but it's like you can't even get it on the normal online version. It's only single player, so it's like, nah. But it is devastating, you know, it just completely wrecks people's shit. Man. So, yeah, back to Inside Job, yeah. I think that Inside Job, what really intrigues me, and this is actually how I found out about it, because I remember, this was, I think, not too long after I'd watched, I think it was about a couple months ago, before I did all this fancy shit. Well, maybe not even that long, I think maybe about roughly a month, somewhere around that, when I was watching the GTA 5 speedrun, and I remember closing in on that. You know, I remember I saw this little bit about, I think it was a Franklin mission, and it was like going up here and, you know, doing the selfie shit. And what I remember particularly about it, and this was also following up as I was doing the campaign yet again for the third time, and I remember doing that same mission, and I thought to myself, could this perhaps be an actual interior that I can visit? So what I decided to do once I did the campaign was I would go online and mess about with it, and yeah, that was one of the first jobs I made. Inside Job, like, it was really shocked when I found it was an actual interior you could explore. Like, I was just shocked. I thought this is the kind of shit that would be almost impossible, but no, it was real. It was like just so fucking atmospheric. I loved it for that. It felt almost like no other mission before it. You know, it was just so fucking cool to have something like that, you know? Really epic. Oh man. So yeah, Inside Job is, I don't want to say it's one of my favourites because that implies it's like in the top 3 or 5. And that, as I was saying before about top 10, it's easily like, I wouldn't even say it's the 10th place. I would say maybe about 8 to 6. And I mean, if you're judging for every job that I've made, I mean, obviously I have my favourites. And Biohazard Outbreak is by far one of the best. And that, you know, Ice Cube Pandemonium is also really high up there, as is, I think, I'm just trying to remember all the jobs and that. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what was the favourite amongst them? Yeah, Franklin Frenzy, that's pretty good as well. That's easily ranked fairly high in that. You know, there's a bunch of others as well. And, but yeah, Inside Job is surprising. I think the only job that, because honestly, I think all my favourites come mostly from Blue 635. This is the only one that's not by him that actually gets in the top 10 list. And you know, for good reason. And you know, it's like, holy shit. But man, honestly, it's such a fucking like decent. Not even decent. No, it's like everything about it is more or less good. And there's very few flaws I can say that put me off from playing it, and it's like, seriously, it's pretty well balanced and that. Oh man, low. Let's look at that. Coincidentally timing with stamina boost. Oh man. This was around the time when I think, because I remember, just to quickly know, with that lesser phone call, I think it was around the time when I started fucking about with bounty hunt, just putting 1k bounties and arm people, because I don't think that was something I really did before and that, but yeah, I mean, I will admit, getting money is easier now than it was on, say, back in the early days, but I don't know, it's just, with GTA Online boring me so much. Like, I think me trying to play for 3 times, like 3 different accounts, it's just, nah. Like, I have no interest in going back to it for, not just that, but I think maybe for months on end, and that. Yeah, it's sad, but it's true, and like, I don't think I'll be creating much more footage in that after this. Like, yeah, surprised I've not got a lot of footage left, and like, after this I think it's just 10 or 11, I'm not even that, maybe 9 or 8 Destiny Newcom Deathmatch footage, and no, I think only 4 of them are complete, and that, so, or at least the ones after, because obviously I think it's 11 at the moment, but anywho, yeah, that's it, inside job. Really good match, and overall, I guess you could say one of the best team death matches I have out there. And not the best, but it's pretty damn high up, so yeah. Oh man, so yeah, next time we'll be finishing this off, and yeah, we'll be concluding the 6th series, and that's so. Yep, I'll be seeing you guys then. And inside job, the only exception, and that's unique in more ways than one. So yep, I'll see you guys then. Till next time, folks.